there are levels to the sport of boxing, and Gennady Golovkin is not on Canelo level. I don't mean to burst anybody's bubble, but that's just the way it goes. Watch for relentless body onslaught by Canelo on Triple G. He's going to be looking to stop Triple G, so he's going to be going to Triple G's body. Watch carefully at Canelo's footwork. Triple G's going to have footwork, but he's going to try and sidestep and stuff. Also look at range, what Canelo will do with range. These are the three things that Canelo will be implementing to stop Triple G tonight. Okay, Triple G, as Abel Sanchez so correctly said, is a quality boxer. He can box, but that's not his forte. Triple G's forte is intimidating his opponents and walking them down in an intelligent manner. That is where he shines the best. He gets hit in almost every single fight. There's not a fight where Triple G does not get hit. Um, he's very tough. He's very durable. Um, and his toughness is also another factor which has caused him to have a very good career. Now, understand that most of the opponents that Triple G has faced were not able to land on him because he would be relentlessly going at them and landing on them, and they didn't want to get hit by him. And so that intimidatory factor is what made Triple G what he was. But in truth, Triple G is not a defensive genius. So you're not looking at a defensive wizard. You're watching at an offensive guy. Now he has all these subtle things that he does to protect his body and to counter and so on. So he, like I said before, he's an intelligent pressure fighter, but and very accurate when he can, depending on the opponent that he has in front of him and how the opponent responds to him. But having said that, and he has a very good jab. Having said that, that's it to Triple G. He's a one-trick pony. Canelo solved him in the first fight. Canelo beat him in the second fight, walking him down. So this is really, people say, well, why wait 4 years? Well, Canelo was occupied with better stuff. He was facing better opponents. You know, um, some people say I hate Triple G. I don't hate Triple G. I'm glad for how he's done. He's going to make a really good payday. He's made a very good payday. Actually, he's got paid by DAZN 100. I think it's $100 million. So he's been paid well. DAZN's getting the fight they want. Um, Triple G's getting the fight he wants, and for undisputed, he wanted to be undisputed. He's going to get an opportunity to be undisputed. So everything's kind of working out. He wanted Canelo. He's getting Canelo. Of course, Canelo was busy fighting guys in higher weight classes, champions, while Triple G was, sitting down and sitting out waiting Canelo out. So, by and large, what I'm saying to you is this fight is going to be broken down into the following things. Canelo keeps a sustained body attack on Triple G. And no, Triple G is not Dimitri Bivol. Okay? Dimitri Bivol is a defensive genius. Okay? What he does, and he makes it look simple, has to do with defense. Bivol does not get hit. He can fight off the back foot and the front foot. He's a counterpuncher as well, like Canelo. Triple G is not really a counterpuncher. So you can't make Triple G into a Dimitri Bivol. You just can't. That's something Dimitri Bivol been doing since he's a kid. Okay, you can't make Triple G into Canelo. Okay, so those people who are wishing and hoping and praying that Triple G would somehow knock out Canelo or beat Canelo comprehensively, you're wishing on a star. Canelo's gotten better than he was, um, even though he's essentially the same fighter. And he's stronger, and he's the bigger guy. He's going to go into this fight the bigger guy because he's been fighting at higher weight classes. So he has a lot more advantages than when he first faced Triple G, and even the second time when he faced Triple G. Okay. Uh, Triple G probably will go down in his career into the Boxing Hall of Fame. But to be honest with you, when you really look at his career, you have to ask yourself, why is this guy even a Hall of Fame? How many world champions has he faced and beaten? How many top tier, top quality fighters has he faced and beaten? Now, I mean, people will use the excuse, well, fighters tried to duck and dodge him. No, uh, he could have faced Demetrius Andrade. He could have faced Jamal Charlo. He could have faced Derevchenko earlier. Um, Arislandi Lara wanted to face him. He could have faced Arislandi Lara, you know, but he didn't. Instead of facing Arislandi Lara, he faced Willie Monroe Jr., right? Talk about a Cuban style of boxing. Willie Monroe Jr. is no Arislandi Lara. We know this, okay? So, and several other guys called out Triple G and he never faced him, okay? My point being, this guy, Triple G, his career and his accomplishments are over magnified. He's overhyped. And a lot of people feel that he's going to do something with Canelo. He's going to do nothing to Canelo. Canelo's going to beat this guy up. He's going to beat him up like our Derevchenko beat him up. But he's just bigger and stronger than Derevchenko, and he's going to stop him. Okay? Now, again, people are going to say, oh, well, Triple G was too old and so on. Well, age has a point to it, absolutely. But that listen, this Canelo and that Triple G, would even Triple G in his prime would get destroyed by Canelo. Okay, it's just what it is because Canelo's the bigger guy now. All right, and he has the style and the skills to neutralize anything that Triple G brings to him. There's nothing Triple G's going to bring to Canelo that Canelo doesn't know. He sparred this guy many, many times. Jonathan Bank is trying to get Triple G to go back into his boxing. Canelo sparred this dude. He knows he boxes. He knows what he does. He knows what Triple G does. There's nothing Triple G can do that Canelo hasn't experienced. He faced him twice. Besides that, there's nothing Triple G's going to bring to the table. It's up to Canelo what kind of fight he wants to have, and I hope that he displays and he has worked on his cardio, his foot cardio, for this fight, so he can show a variety of things in this fight. Because the first time he boxed off the back foot against Triple G and he outboxed him. The second time he pressured him and he outpressured, right? This time he should mix it up. He should showcase his skills to get Triple G out of there. He should show his IQ from what he learned from Dimitri Bivol and show us that he can beat Dimitri Bivol by getting rid of Triple G, right? This is supposedly his rival. This is supposedly the guy that people are saying, disputing that. And so if he disposes of Triple G the way he's supposed to dispose of him in this fight, I'm being real. Canelo's supposed to dispose of Triple G in this fight. And he shouldn't take 12 rounds to dispose of him, right? Because he's got so much more experience than Triple G. He's got so much advantages over Triple G in this fight. Triple G's fighting at his weight class, right? I mean, everything that Canelo can have to beat Triple G, he has. So Triple G shouldn't make it to the final bell. He shouldn't. And Canelo should dispose of him. If Canelo doesn't dispose of Triple G, whatever the judges say, I'm cool with, because Triple G even making it to the final bell is an accomplishment for him. And Canelo should take all accomplishments away from Triple G and beat him up and stop him, as he ought to. This is an old fighter, tough, but toughness don't mean that you could be as tough as nails. Doesn't mean you're gonna make it out of that fight, especially if you go body. It's the body that you have to beat down. You have to beat that body and wear it down. Every opportunity you get, go to the body. And then you mix it up on top and take him out on top, right? So if Canelo goes to Triple G's body, and that's their objective, is to beat down his body, and then go up top, he's going to stop him. I'm telling you, he's going to stop him this time. The Canelo that faced Triple G the two times before, I think 4 years before, is not the same Canelo today. This is a bigger, stronger Canelo. Much stronger, much bigger guy. Okay? This is a guy that went against Dimitri Bivol. Bivol was landing. Well, he didn't land a lot because Canelo has good defense, but he was landing some of his money shots on Canelo, and Canelo was standing up to that. Right. So Canelo's not. I'm telling you, Artur Beterbiev. Canelo versus Artur Beterbiev. Canelo can take on Artur Beterbiev. Okay, and that's a much stronger guy than Triple G. Beterbiev is much stronger. Beterbiev is basically was a former heavyweight. Okay, Canelo's talking about fighting heavyweights because he can. Okay, he's that strong. That's what you guys have to understand. He was sparring the Cuban guy. I forgot his name now. So this is not a close fight, and this shouldn't be a close fight. Okay, this is a mismatch fight. This is a mismatch fight. So anybody tell you that's why I haven't talked about this fight. I haven't talked about it because to me it's not this should not even be buzz. This is not there's nothing to this. This is a fight that's going to be one sided, and a lot of people are going to be shocked. But don't be shocked, and don't say that Triple G was old. This is just a different Canelo. This is a Canelo who's bigger, he's stronger, faced better opposition, much better opposition than Triple G has faced, and he's grown as a fighter because of it. And that loss to Bivol has helped him in a way because he has to. I hope he's working on his foot cardio because that's something he could look spectacular against Triple G in this fight. He could look spectacular if he has worked on his foot cardio. He could look tremendous against Triple G in this fight. Make Triple G look like he's just not on his level at all. Because a lot of people are expecting this fight to be tough. But if Canelo did his homework after the loss to Bivol, let me put it this way. Bivol versus Triple G. Who wins? If you say Triple G, you don't know boxing. Bivol would beat the brakes off of Triple G. Okay? So if Bivol would stop Triple G. So if Bivol would stop Triple G, okay? Canelo got to stop Triple G. If you say you want a rematch with Bivol, you say you want to beat Bivol, impress us. Impress us. That version of Triple G, you're supposed to smash that. Okay? Because this guy takes too much punishment. He takes too much punishment. He's open too much. His defense is not very tight. It's not very tight. You got the speed advantage. You got the weight class advantage. You're a bigger guy because you face bigger, stronger guys. You got the pedigree advantage because you face better quality fighters than Triple G. So at the end of the day, there's no if, buts, or maybe. He's supposed to make this fight look. Canelo's supposed. Y'all might be saying I'm putting too much pressure on Canelo. No. He knows. He's faced this guy before twice. I'm not saying this fight will take 4 or 5 rounds to end, even though that's possible. I think Canelo, he's not really a knockout artist, but I could see this fight going to the kind of like a Sergey Kovalev fight. I could see this fight going somewhere around the 10th, 11th round. Now it could end way before that. You can do 7-6 rounds. It could end in 7-6 rounds. Okay, it depends on how Canelo approaches it. And again, if he has worked on his foot cardio, if we're gonna have that same Canelo who trying to conserve energy and stuff, then we're gonna have a problem. But if we have a Canelo that has done his homework, because you can't tell me you trying to go up against Dimitri Bivol and you ain't work on your footwork. Okay, you haven't worked on your foot cardio. If you haven't worked on your foot cardio and you go into Triple G, even if you stop him and you don't listen, for this fight, let me tell you, this fight's very doable for Canelo. But the thing with it is, with this fight, Canelo should have done his homework on his footwork. If he's moving around the ring, lighter on his feet, this is the key. And he can do it for 12 rounds. He can just keep going like the Energizer Bunny for 12 rounds at a relatively high pace. Canelo is going to mop the floor with Triple G. He's going to mop the floor. Triple G's he's tough, so it's going to take a while to get him out of there, but he'll get him out of there, and he'll mop the floor with him. Because Triple G is tough. He's tough. But you could be as tough as you want. You got to protect that body. I know Triple G does protect his body pretty well, tries to stick his head out there so you can bang on his head. But There's a way to circumvent that. And again, it's cutting angles. Look at Derevyanchenko. Again, footwork. How you cut your angle, you're going to catch him to the body. You're going to clip him. And then use your defense. Slip, slide, roll, pivot. Snap back. Even shuffle back sometimes. And cut those angles and chop this dude down like a tree. Chop him down. Because he's too slow for you. He's too slow for Canelo. You know? He's deceptively quick, but he's too slow. And at that age, you know, he puts his combinations together when he can get something going. But I mean, this dude Canelo need to put this guy to sleep. And end the story. Now, Triple G's legacy, you know, it's not very impressive. Let me put it that way. Even the so-called 20-something, whatever it is, 20-something title defenses or whatever that they talk about, some of those title defenses, he wasn't the real champion. He wasn't the super champion. He was the regular champion. So you can't really count that. I think he has it's still impressive. I mean, he got I think it's 15 title defenses when he was really a champion, upgraded and stuff like that. 15 title defenses is not bad. It's not poor, but I mean, it's not, it's impressive. It's very impressive. Against who? Of course, you ask yourself, but it's still impressive. So, does that get him into the Hall of Fame? Being a two-time unified world champion, does that get him into the Hall of Fame? I mean, I don't know. But what I can say is that the dude still get my respect because he went into the ring. He did what he had to do. Triple G's legacy after this, and whether he will continue to fight or not, I think he's going to retire after this. I don't think he's going to continue fighting after this fight because Canelo's going to beat the crap out of him. He's going to beat him up real bad. This is the last fight for Triple G, in my opinion. But who knows? He might do another one, a farewell fight or something. But he gonna take a beating. It's gonna be brutal, y'all. All right. After the Derevyanchenko fight, he's never been the same. Derevyanchenko beat his ass. Derevyanchenko's not the same either, but I mean, particularly Triple G, he's not the same. So he went through successive beatings. First it was Danny Jacobs that beat him up, then Canelo beat him up twice, and then Derevyanchenko beat on him like a drum. So this dude, no matter what y'all say, no matter what y'all think, this dude take a lot of punishment within those 4 fights. And now he going back to the same guy that beat on him like a drum, but this guy bigger and stronger. Come on, man. Come on, make this make sense. Okay? As to Canelo's legacy, it all depends. I expect Canelo to win this fight. I expect him to stop Triple G. But I don't care about that. It's how he looks. And let's see if he worked on things to improve his game so he could actually beat a Dimitri Bivol. Because it's Bivol I'm more interested in. And can this dude get his foot cardio together? If he can get it together, it's going to be a good fight. But if he can't get it together, he can make the fight more difficult than it needs to be. Triple G can win a couple rounds, whatever. But he can make this a flawless victory. So we'll see what kind of performance Canelo puts on. I'm not gonna watch the fight actually live. I'm not really watching the fight live. You guys want to see that? I already know. There's certain fights that I know what the prediction is. And so I already know Triple G's gonna get his ass beaten, and that's gonna be that, right? Canelo's gonna beat him. I guess this is a sort of a rebound fight, showcase exhibition rebound fight, just to show how far Canelo has gone. Because a lot of people feel because Bivol beat Canelo, anybody could just beat Canelo. You know what I mean? It doesn't work like that. Styles make fights, and Bivol is a special fighter, very special fighter. Okay, so that's what I got for you guys. I just wanted to talk about this a little bit more and some insight into these two fighters. And like I said before, Triple G is not on Canelo's level. It's just not. It's just not. It is what it is. He never been on Canelo's level. That's why he got beat twice before. And I said twice before, I agree with Adelaide Burton. Canelo outboxed his ass twice before. And he about to now get squashed. And y'all are going to say, well, Canelo was ducking him for 4 years. No, how could Canelo be ducking him for 4 years? Well, who was Canelo facing in those 4 years? Huh? He's facing guys 160, then 168, then 175. He's been fighting the guys that Abel Sanchez claimed Triple G could fight and dominate, right? Triple G, in the meantime, stayed at 160. He ain't fighting much, and when he fight, it's duds. He's fighting duds. The best dud he fought was Murata, the weakest champion in the division. He's getting a payday. He had it nice. He had a career where he didn't have to have the difficulties that Canelo had. Y'all might hate Canelo. Y'all might, but when you look at the caliber of opposition Canelo has had, it Triple G's opposition pales in comparison. And what Paulie Malignaggi comes with some bullshit like, oh, Triple G, he just never had the opportunities to fight. Bullshit. He had opportunities up the wazoo, especially when he went to the zone. His first guy he could have faced, which Canelo didn't face, was Demetrius Andrade. Demetrius Andrade was presented to him. Do you know who he faced instead of Demetrius Andrade? Okay, then. Some undefeated, unknown dude from my country, Trinidad. Forgot the guy's name. It'll come to me. A forgettable guy who actually tagged him up. Then he goes on to face another unknown. He faces Derevyanchenko. Then he comes back to defend his title against some unknown dude, some Euro dude. Yeah, he undefeated, but what I mean? So Triple G been facing mediocre, and then he ain't facing nobody after that, after COVID. So this dude will be facing mediocre competition, but Canelo's ducking Triple G. How could he be ducking Triple G when Canelo's facing guys like Danny Jacobs, Sergey Kovalev? Help me here. Help me understand. After Sergey Kovalev, he goes on to face, I believe it's Billy Joe Saunders after this stupid thing. No, Callum Smith, then Billy Joe Saunders, and then, what's the kid name? Caleb Plant. That's it. Caleb Plant. And then after Caleb Plant, he goes on to face Dimitri Bivol. All world champions. Triple G in his entire career, he has 3 fights. 3 fights that matter. 3 fights that matter. Canelo, Danny Jacobs, and Derevyanchenko. We could throw in, even though he's like a pinata right now, David Lemieux. You want to put 4 names. Four names, a whole entire career. Daniel Gee, let's throw in Daniel Gee. 5 names. In an entire career, 5 names. 5. Okay? He could have stacked more names. He could have done more names. He could have had Jamal Charlo. He could have had Demetrius Andrade. Okay? He's at 160. That's what he do. He's a unified champion at 160. He could have jumped up to 168 and done what Canelo did and clean out that division. He didn't do it. So, I mean, let's stop with the chitter chat and the talk, okay? Yeah, okay, Cotto didn't face him. Yeah, what's the guy name that Cotto beat? Who's still fighting now? The Argentinian dude didn't face him. Okay. All right. But at the end of the day, some guys duck Triple G, no doubt. But don't make that an excuse because he had opportunities to face other guys. And he passed them up. All right, so we talking about Canelo's legacy. So he would have had a trilogy with Triple G, beat Triple G 3 times, whatever, 2 times, whatever. But like I said before, his legacy, and Canelo has still a lot of his career to go. Right? He still can face David Benavidez, Jamal Charlo, Demetrius Andrade if he wants to. A 175, he can rematch Bivol. He can face Bit Turbiev. There's a lot of guys at 175. There's Gilberto Ramirez. All them guys up there he can face. Those are guys are names, former world champions, etc. Right? So he got plethora of high quality, top quality guys he could still continue to face in his career. Triple G's career is over. He not gonna face nobody else. He may face another tomato can. Sorry about that. He might face sorry, now I won't call it tomato can. Another guy who we never heard about. We don't know their name. He might defend his titles and then leave because he's a unified champion now at 160. You know? So, I mean, you can't, guys like that who get overhyped and stuff, they get found out. You always get exposed. You always get found out. You know? Um, Drama Show was great. It was great as a show, talking about Drama Show, Good Boy, and all that. It was cool. It was cool. It was entertaining. But don't mix up entertaining and a guy getting KOs with him being a higher quality fighter than another guy. And you berate the other guy who's doing his job against real competition. And you're still mad at the guy who's facing better competition than the other guy who always getting a pass. Triple G, oh yeah, praise Triple G, praise him. You're praising Triple G for being average, man. The man don't, I'm going to be real. Y'all going to say I'm a hater. The dude don't even deserve to be in the Boxing Hall of Fame. He don't deserve it. He don't really deserve it. And y'all going to hate me for this because, he got the complexion for the protection, but whatever. What has he really done? He's a one-divisional champion who never became undisputed. Yeah, he was two-time unified. Okay? But he ain't really faced nobody. The guys he actually faced who are actually quality fighters, he lost to or got the decision. Right? Y'all want to talk about Canelo got the decision on Triple G. Well, Triple G got the decision on Derevyanchenko. He didn't win that fight. Yeah, he knocked down Derevyanchenko early. He didn't win that fight. Derevyanchenko beat his ass from pillar to post. And y'all know this. And it's disputable if he even beat Danny Jacobs, who he also knocked down early. It's disputable. And those are higher quality guys. Derevyanchenko's never even been a world champion. But if he stays with it, he might become one. My point is, far less even talking about a Jamal Charlo or a Demetrius Andrade, or Janibek. Them guys would carve him up. And we all know this because he don't got no damn defense. He don't have, listen, you got to have defense in boxing. And he don't have it. Abel Sanchez said it. His best bet is to intimidate his opponents so they don't want to throw. And he do all the throwing. And he put him in a position. That's what he is. He's a one-trick pony, y'all. He can box a little bit with a jab off the back foot. But you press him, and you press him intelligently, he can't do shit to you. David Lemieux wasn't a boxer. He's a guy with a power punch. Canelo's a boxer, puncher. That's what he is. Right, so we know what would happen. I see y'all popping in and popping out. Y'all praying for Canelo's downfall. It's really stupid. Now, I predicted that Bivol would beat Canelo. And now I'm predicting that Canelo is going to beat up Triple G. He's going to beat him up. He's going to beat him up. Triple G going to feel his age after this fight. I don't care how good in condition he is. He's going to get beat up because Canelo's going to go for that body, and then he going to mix it up to the head. He going to mix it up. So, this is my video. I spent 30 minutes talking about this thing. Right? One guy's overhyped, and the other guy, he a bit overhyped by some. But for the most part, earn his stripes. And there's a difference between earning your stripes and you're just getting these adulations undeserved. I hear people say, up to this day, Triple G beat Canelo in the first fight. How? How? Still to this day. Some of y'all just don't know shit about boxing. Y'all just anti-Canelo or something, and your brain switch off when it comes to Triple G. Like your brain switch off when it comes to Pacquiao. And you're not watching boxing. Paulie Malignaggi is one of them guys. He's so biased for European fighters that he can't see Triple G got his ass beat by Canelo. He outboxed him. Triple G couldn't even touch him. For most of the fight, he couldn't touch him. I mean, this Canelo displayed defense in the first fight. In the second fight, he showed offense with defense. Canelo's so much better fighter. He's much better fighter than Triple G. And that was back then. Now he's even better than he was before. There's no, I mean, they know. Everybody knows. But people just want to push this narrative. This fight is not competitive. Not supposed to be, at least. If Canelo make it competitive, that's on him. But he's supposed to be so many classes above Triple G now. Oh, by the way, I want to say that I'm going to do a video on Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. But I'm not going to do it until either Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, or someone who's an official in authority and power comes out and says this fight is made. I don't believe nothing that Coppinger say. And I know Fight Hype also endorsed what Coppinger said, but I'm waiting for an official word. I don't think it's officially out yet. It has not been officially announced. So we're looking to see when that happens. And when I hear the official word, then I will talk about Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence. But Dimitri Bivol versus Zurdo Ramirez is a good fight. But again, Zurdo is he's an okay fighter. He's a good fighter. But I see Canelo in sparring tag up Zurdo. And he's not even trying to tag up Zurdo hard or anything. So I don't think Zurdo, I'm just being honest with you, I don't think he can do anything with Bivol. Again, Bivol's been fighting guys much bigger and much stronger than Zurdo. He fought John Pascal, who's clever and all of that. I mean, Bivol's a hell of a fighter, man. It's just what it is. You know, as Max Kellerman so correctly said, he thinks that Bivol, I think a number of people think this, Bivol's probably the best light heavyweight in that division. And the only way we will see is when he goes up against Artur Beterbiev, who Artur Beterbiev is supposed to be facing, if I'm not mistaken, Anthony Yarde. I think that fight's next. So I think Beterbiev is going to be facing Yarde, and Bivol will be facing Zurdo Ramirez. And Zurdo's a really good fighter. I mean, southpaw and everything, but he can't mess with Bivol. He can't mess with Bivol. Bivol's a special dude, man. His favorite fighter is Pernell Whitaker. That should tell you everything you need to know. He got defense, man. When you got defense, and like I mean, how many fights has Bivol even lost? Ask that question. From amateurs to pro, I'm talking about. That's what you got to ask yourself. This dude knows his stuff, okay? And was trained very well. So, I don't really see anybody beating Bivol right now. You know? Benavidez thinks he can beat Bivol. I mean, good. That's the way to think about it, you know, and go approach it. You know, he's still a young fighter and everything. So, David Benavidez, you know, everybody thinks, you know, people are afraid of David Benavidez like that. I don't think so. I look at his style, and I don't see what everybody's hyping him about. He can fight. The boy can fight, you know. But you know, and he has a couple little wrinkles, but I don't really see what everybody else is seeing. I don't really see Benavidez beating Canelo. I don't see it. Canelo's fought guys bigger than Benavidez. Bigger than Benavidez. Right? So I don't really see what they see. He can fight though. The boy can fight. But just because you can fight doesn't mean you're gonna win. It's all about the knowledge base. You know what I'm saying? And he don't have what it takes to beat a Canelo. People say he has, but he don't have it. Too flat footed. Just way too flat footed. You can't be that flat footed. You ain't gonna beat Canelo being so flat footed. You have to, again, you gotta have what Bevo has. Bevo has a combination of things. So did Floyd. So you have to be a certain kind of fighter. You know, but which Benavidez is the best. So that's all I got to say for now. I'm what you need. I'm gonna get out of here. I see nobody smashing the like button. That's interesting, and I don't care. But at the end of the day, you can also donate to my channel via PayPal, and I'll try and put the link below, and also that for various channels and various things. But I just wanted to put that out there, and I'm out. What you need is gone. Peace.